Okay, class, so we're going to talk about an interactive using mitosis today, or we're going to look at an interactive using mitosis today. Um, Talking a little bit about cell division and what happens to chromosome number. Last week I gave you a note slide that I kind of animated through, and then a Google form question sheet scenario that talked about how many chromosomes were left after mitosis. That was the most frequently missed question. So I wanted to look at this little animation with you and kind of show you the chromosome number that occurred here. So I'm going to go back up to the top in interphase, and you can see that these are the centromeres. These are the spindle fibers. This is the nucleus still formed. That's the nucleolus in the middle. This little picture here is what it actually looks like in a real cell. You don't see a whole lot of mitosis actually happening now, except for the fact that you can see the centrioles. In prophase, you actually start seeing the development of the chromosomes. You can see the chromosomes right here in the middle of the nucleus. You see the centromeres starting to migrate to each end of the cell. And you see the spindle fibers getting a little more developed. We do not talk about prometaphase, so I'm going to skip to metaphase. Metaphase, we're going to see the chromosomes lined up in the middle of the cell. Metaphase middle. And in this particular cell, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chromosomes. The spindles usually line up with the centromeres, which is the middle of the chromosomes. And the centrioles are over here on the sides of the cell itself. This is an animal cell. These are the cell membranes. How do I know it's the animal cell? Because it has the centrioles. Anaphase, we see that the cell chromosomes are moving away from one another. So this is anaphase. We still have 4 chromosomes. They're just separating from one another at this point. And these chromosomes are carrying the genetic information for each new daughter cell that forms. And in telophase, we have the development of 2 new cells starting. So you start seeing the pinching inward here and here of these cells. Cytokinesis is when the cytoplasm starts pinching inward, and you see that occurring there. It's not completely separate, but you start seeing a cell membrane forming. And then we go back to interphase, where we have the development of 2 completely new cells. This cell will start growing and developing, going through G1, S, and G2 in interphase, where the cell spends most of its life, 90% of its life, before it starts undergoing mitosis again. And then this cell, which will actually undergo the same process before we go back up to interphase again, where just one of these cells begins the process of dividing. The animation without stopping looks like this. It's going to go fast, so watch it quickly. Interphase, pro, meta, ana, tele, cyto, and interphase again. I'll do it without talking. One thing I wanted to point out, this cell starts with 4 chromosomes. There's a blue chromosome, a yellow chromosome, a red chromosome, and a light blue or white chromosome. It ends with 4 chromosomes. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see in cytokinesis. Well, you can't see it as well here. But there's 4 chromosomes in the beginning and the end. These cells begin what we call diploid. They end diploid. You do not cut that chromosome number in half. So if I start with a cell that has 4 chromosomes, I'm going to end with a cell that has 4 chromosomes, because this is making exact copies of the parent cell. Please make sure you understand that. I'm going to send out a quiz later this week. You'll probably get it on Thursday, maybe earlier. But it's going to ask a bunch of questions. If a cell has 20 chromosomes and undergoes mitosis, what happens? The cell has 20 chromosomes at the end of mitosis. It doesn't change. It stays the same. Those are body cells, somatic cells. That happens in every cell of your body except your egg cells and sperm cells. They undergo meiosis, and that looks very different. but for the cells that undergo mitosis, they stay the same. Watch this animation one more time. Oh, wait. Let me start an interface. All right, we're growing, and now we're dividing. You can watch this animation on your own. Just Google cells alive mitosis, and it'll pull it up. I hope you have a great week. We probably will not Zoom on Wednesday unless you have specific questions. Please send those to me. I will send out an assignment that is due on, let me think, Wednesday. And then you'll have an assignment due on Thursday of this week. Other than that, your week will be pretty much free. So I hope you have a great week.